Picture this. You're standing on the deck of a starship hurtling through the cosmos at light speed. Suddenly, the navigation system fails. The crew panics, everyone except one person. The ship's philosopher, a Stoic. While others scramble in fear, they remain calm, focused, ready to solve the problem. This isn't science fiction. This is the power of Stoic philosophy. Today, we're exploring 10 things that never worry a true Stoic. These aren't just ancient ideas. They're timeless principles that can transform how you navigate the chaos of modern life. Number 1. What others think of them. Imagine you're an astronaut on Mars. You've just discovered evidence of ancient life. Back on Earth, some people celebrate your achievement. Others criticize your methods. Others ignore you completely. A Stoic astronaut doesn't lose sleep over any of these reactions. Why? Because opinions are like cosmic radiation. They're everywhere, mostly harmless, and completely outside your control. Marcus Aurelius, who literally ruled the Roman Empire, wrote in his personal journal, "How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does." The Stoic understands a fundamental truth. You can control your actions, your thoughts, your responses, but you cannot control how others perceive them. Worrying about opinions is like trying to steer a spaceship by shouting at the stars. Number 2. Perfect outcomes. Picture a quantum physicist working on teleportation technology. Every experiment has thousands of variables: temperature, pressure, electromagnetic fields, cosmic interference. A non-Stoic scientist becomes frustrated when experiments don't yield perfect results. But a Stoic scientist, they understand that perfection is an illusion. Seneca, advisor to emperors, put it brilliantly. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Failed experiments aren't failures, they're data points. Each imperfect outcome teaches something valuable. The Stoic focuses on process, not perfection. They know that demanding perfect results from an imperfect universe is like expecting a black hole to follow your schedule. Number 3. Events from the past. Imagine time travel becomes possible tomorrow. You could go back and change that embarrassing moment from high school, fix that relationship, prevent that mistake. But here's the paradox. Even with a time machine, changing the past creates new problems, new timelines, new complications. Stoics understand this without needing actual time travel. The past is fixed data, unchangeable information. Marcus Aurelius faced plagues, wars, betrayal. But he wrote, "Confine yourself to the present. Worrying about past events is like trying to rewrite the laws of physics. It's energy wasted on the impossible." The Stoic analyzes past events for lessons, then channels all their energy into the present moment. Number 4. Uncontrollable future events. Scientists predict that in 5 billion years, our sun will expand into a red giant and consume Earth. This is relatively certain. But do astronomers lose sleep over it? Of course not. Yet people constantly worry about far more uncertain future events. Will the economy crash? Will technology replace my job? Will that asteroid hit Earth next Tuesday? Epictetus, who lived as a slave before becoming one of history's greatest philosophers, taught a powerful principle. Some things are within our power, while others are not. The Stoic prepares for probable futures while accepting that ultimate control is impossible. They're like mission commanders planning for multiple scenarios while staying focused on today's objectives. Anxiety about uncontrollable futures is energy stolen from controllable presents. Number 5. Natural aging and death. In science fiction, characters often seek immortality. They fear aging, fight death, pursue eternal youth. But even in universes with advanced technology, entropy always wins eventually. Stoics embrace this cosmic truth thousands of years before we understood entropy. Marcus Aurelius regularly contemplated mortality, not from morbid fascination, but from practical wisdom. He wrote, "Death smiles at us all, but all a man can do is smile back." This isn't resignation, it's liberation. When you accept that aging and death are natural processes, like stars being born and dying, you stop wasting energy fighting the inevitable. Instead, you focus on living fully while you can. The Stoic sees each day as a gift from the universe, not a step closer to doom. Number 6, making everyone happy. Imagine you're the captain of a generation ship carrying humanity to a new planet. You have limited resources. Every decision affects thousands of lives. Some people will always be unhappy with your choices. This is leadership reality and life reality. Trying to make everyone happy is like trying to create a perpetual motion machine. It violates fundamental laws. Seneca learned this as advisor to Nero. He wrote, "It is likely that some troubles will befall us, but it is not a present fact. How often has the unexpected happened? How often has the expected never come to pass?" The Stoic leader makes decisions based on virtue and wisdom, not popularity. They understand that universal approval is mathematically impossible. Focus on being good, not being liked. The universe doesn't run on consensus. Number 7, having perfect health. Even in the most advanced medical bay of a starship, perfect health remains elusive. Bodies are complex biological machines subject to wear, cosmic radiation, genetic variations, and countless variables. Modern humans often panic over every ache, every symptom, every sign of imperfection. But Stoics understood that the body, like any machine, requires maintenance and will eventually break down. Epictetus, who lived with physical disability, taught, "Wealth consists in not having great possessions, but in having few wants." This applies to health too. The Stoic takes reasonable care of their body, seeks medical help when needed, but doesn't obsess over achieving perfect physical condition. They know that resilience matters more than perfection. A well-maintained machine with character flaws runs better than a perfect machine with no soul. Number 8, accumulating endless wealth. In science fiction, advanced civilizations often discover that infinite growth is impossible. Resources are finite. Even energy has limits. Eventually, every expanding empire hits cosmic boundaries. Ancient Stoics understood this economic reality before modern economics existed. Seneca, one of Rome's wealthiest men, wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." The Stoic doesn't reject wealth. They reject the anxiety of endless accumulation. They understand diminishing returns. The difference between having enough food and having a feast is significant. The difference between having 10 feasts and having 100 is negligible. Like a spaceship engineer, the Stoic calculates optimal resource allocation. They seek sufficiency, not excess. Because chasing infinite wealth in a finite universe is both impossible and exhausting. Number 9, external validation and status. Picture a deep space explorer discovering a new galaxy. Back home, politicians argue about the explorer's credentials. Media debates their methods. Social networks buzz with opinions. But in the vast emptiness of space surrounded by billion-year-old stars, does any of that chatter matter? The universe doesn't care about your job title, your social media followers, or your awards. Marcus Aurelius, literally the most powerful man in his world, reminded himself, "Remember that very little disturbs the happiness of a wise man. Nothing, indeed, except his own conduct." The Stoic finds validation internally. They measure success by virtue, growth, contribution. External status symbols are like decorations on a spaceship. Nice to have, but irrelevant to navigation. True worth comes from character, not certificates. Number 10, changing other people. Imagine you're a terraforming engineer trying to make Mars habitable. You can alter atmospheric composition, adjust temperature, introduce microorganisms. But you cannot force evolution. Life adapts at its own pace, in its own way. Human nature works similarly. You can influence others through example, teach through patience, lead through virtue. But you cannot reprogram someone else's personality like updating software. Epictetus taught, "Don't explain your philosophy. embody it. This wasn't passive resignation. This was strategic wisdom. The Stoic invests energy in self-improvement, not people-fixing. They understand that lasting change comes from within. Like gravity, influence works best when it's consistent, patient, and powerful. You can't force an orbit, but you can become worth orbiting around. These 10 things that never worry a Stoic aren't about becoming emotionally numb. They're about becoming strategically wise. Like a starship captain choosing which battles to fight and which storms to weather. The ancient Stoics lived in a world of plague, war, and uncertainty. Sound familiar? Their wisdom isn't outdated, and it's more relevant than ever. Start small. Pick one of these 10 areas. Notice when you feel anxiety about something outside your control. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Can I actually influence this outcome? Remember, you're not trying to become an emotionless robot. You're becoming a wise human. Someone who chooses their worries as carefully as a space explorer chooses their supplies. The universe is vast, mysterious, and largely indifferent to our small concerns. But that's liberating, not depressing. It means you're free to focus on what truly matters: your character, your choices, your growth. Which of these 10 Stoic principles resonates most with you? Let us know in the comments. And if this cosmic perspective on ancient wisdom helped you see your worries differently, subscribe for more philosophy that's both timeless and timely. Until next time, keep exploring the universe within.